And he continued to suggest that a Pacquiao-Mario Barrios welterweight title fight was possible. Bob Santos, the trainer for Mario Barrios, has said recently that he believes
6-year-old Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement to face 29-year-old Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight championship on July 19th in Las Vegas. That's according to an ESPN report. Pacquiao last fought in 2021 when he lost to Yordenis Ugas. Barrios won the WBC welterweight title from Ugas in 2023.
There are two big questions everyone in boxing is asking. First, should Manny Pacquiao really be coming back to fight again? Second, can he actually win against Mario Barrios?
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion, so who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. That's a tremendous fight. It was released, PBC. Manny Pacquiao first title was flyweight WBC, and he wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
This isn't just a return. It's a huge event. Pacquiao, once the fast and fearless champ of 8 weight classes, is now a 45-year-old legend going after one last moment in
Manny Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it definitely has to do with money. 1. 2, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against.
At the same time, Barrios is young, strong, and on a winning streak. He isn't planning to be anyone's easy win. This fight is more than punches and belts. It's about pride, legacy, and whether age can really be beaten.
Who is not so happily retired, seems to still be antsy about fighting. I was at the Andy Ruiz workout in LA this past week, and Sean Gibbons was there representing Isaac Cruz and part of that contingent.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback feels like something from a Rocky movie, except it's really happening. After losing to Yordenis Ugas in 2021, many thought he was done. But now he's back, aiming for Mario Barrios and the WBC welterweight title. In his last fight, Pacquiao looked slower and older, not like the star who used to destroy legends. But legends aren't made by doubting themselves. On the other hand, Barrios isn't here to be part of a farewell show. He's young, skilled, and sharp, especially with his jab. While Pacquiao was at events and taking it easy, Barrios was training hard and getting better. It's the classic matchup, aging lion versus rising threat.
Has said recently that he believes it was going to happen. What do you think of your old foil there, Manny Pacquiao, getting back in the ring again for a world title fight?
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Boxing expert Eddie Hearn was honest. He said Pacquiao could still beat some fighters outside the top 20, but that wasn't exactly high praise. It's like saying your grandpa can still drive, just not on the highway. That's why this fight has people split. Pacquiao isn't fighting a retired fighter. He's facing a real champion. Half the fans are excited like it's 2008 again, while the rest are worried it could end badly. Pacquiao has always shocked people, but now things are different. He's older, slower, and recovery takes
8-2 with 39 knockouts. Barrios 29-2-1. And for more, welcome in CBS Sports combat analyst Brian Campbell. Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Mandy.
And yet here we are, looking at a fight that feels like two different boxing generations meeting. Barrios has a lot to gain, and if he loses, he still gets respect for facing a legend. But for Pacquiao, this is all or nothing. Every hit reminds him of the past and the risk to his legacy. Some in boxing, like trainer Greg Hackett, don't see this as a fight for glory. They think it's for money. He says the choice of opponent and the hype show, it's more business than sport. But honestly, boxing has always mixed both. Promoters are thrilled. Pay-per-view numbers will likely be huge, and the world is watching. Hackett sees this fight as a smart plan, not a wild move. Pacquiao could have gone after Crawford or Boots if he wanted danger. Barrios is a safer risk, still serious, but not too risky. Enough danger to draw fans, enough hope to believe.
I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous.
Tim Bradley also shared doubts, agreeing that this return might be more about money than glory. And really, who else gets a title shot with no warm-up after retirement? Barrios knows he's being set up as the next big name, but he's not here to be nice. He's here to take the win. Every training round and interview shows he wants to beat the legend badly. Pacquiao is now walking a fine line between greatness and risk. If he wins, it's a great story and one more title for his already full career. But if he loses, especially by knockout, it could end his career and hurt his legacy. And fans don't forget easily.
Sports combat analyst Brian Campbell, Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets.
What makes this matchup so interesting is what both fighters represent. Barrios stands for the future, modern, smart, and technical. Pacquiao represents the old days, heart, hustle, and speed. It's not just about age, but two eras clashing. Even now, Pacquiao's weird and unpredictable style still causes problems for younger boxers. He moves strangely, punches from odd spots, and throws people off. Just ask Keith Thurman, who got knocked down by Pacquiao in 2019. But that was 6 years ago, and in boxing, that's a long time. Pacquiao's been doing speeches while Barrios has been training hard. The ring doesn't care about your name. Still, there's something special about Manny. You can't take him lightly. If he lands early, the whole fight could change quickly.
This is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios?
Now, the media circus is in full swing. Everyone, commentators, podcasters, even old boxers, has something to say. Some say Pacquiao still punches like a machine, while others think he moves like a tired old man. This fight has turned into more than just boxing. Is the sport about youth and skill, or just a money-making nostalgia show? Some fans say boxing used to be about the fight, not the drama. But let's not pretend it wasn't always part entertainment. This Pacquiao versus Barrios matchup feels like a movie, like Stallone should be in the background. Las Vegas is ready. The lights, the celebrities, the fans, they'll all show up. And that's what makes boxing exciting. It's more than just punches. It's a full show. And Manny still draws crowds like a legend returning to the stage.
But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios. Like, maybe it's recency bias. I saw that fight. That Barrios Fabian Maidana fight that was on the Canelo undercard.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that impressed.
Meanwhile, Barrios is focused and not buying into the feel-good story. He's young, driven, and not here to play along. For him, this isn't about history. It's about proving himself. Beating Pacquiao means more than a belt. It means moving up fast and becoming a star. Pacquiao, on the other hand, isn't retiring quietly. He's back in training, working on his footwork, and facing a guy who was still a kid when Pacquiao became a champ. Only true fighters take on this kind of challenge. But behind the excitement, there's also worry. Pacquiao used to win with speed and power, but now his reactions are slower, and his legs aren't what they were. His heart is strong, but his body may not be. Barrios is coming to fight, not to shake hands. That's what worries fans, the chance this story ends badly.
To say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds.
Then there are the conspiracy theories. Some think the WBC is using this match to cover something up or promote a bigger plan. Maybe Barrios was picked because he looks good but can be beaten. Or maybe this fight is just the first step in Pacquiao's full return, leading to a big money bout later. Boxing is part sport, part drama. The internet is full of rumors. Some believe this fight is Pacquiao's way of starting a political move. Others think he's setting up a future match with Crawford or Spence. One fan even said it's all for a documentary. This is the digital age. Every punch could be marketing. One short video of Pacquiao training had the internet going wild. Just a few punches and people were ready to believe he's back. Forget science. Some folks think he's still unstoppable. But punches don't lie, and doubt hits just as hard.
But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is...
As for Barrios, he's keeping quiet. Maybe too quiet. Is he focused or is he scared? Is he training in peace or feeling nervous about fighting a legend? Either way, he knows this isn't a normal fight. It's a clash with history. Boxing. Doesn't care about your winning streak. Some legends age well, others fall hard. For every comeback story like George Foreman, there's a sad one like Roy Jones Jr. That's the risk Pacquiao is taking. That's why fans are divided. Some are excited, others are nervous. Still, there's something powerful about this. Pacquiao has never taken the easy road, from growing up poor to becoming a world champ. Maybe this is one last fight to prove something. Maybe nerve and memory are enough.
Right, we got him at 10-0, and that's a blessing in and of itself. 10-0 and 8 knockouts. Just signed that nice deal with Turkey as the ring ambassador. So we're well on our way, and tonight's another step in the right direction, and we got to take care of business tonight.
So we're going to be seeing him on some ring cards in the future.
Oh, definitely. But we got to take care of business tonight. You know, you can't catch your chickens before they're hatched. So we got to take care of business tonight. And this is heavyweights, and we all know with heavyweights, one punch can change anything.
Even if Barrios wins, it's risky. Beat Pacquiao too badly, and you're the guy who beat up an old hero. Lose, and you're the young fighter who got outsmarted by a 46-year-old legend. It's a tricky spot. Boxing rarely gives perfect endings, just complicated ones. That's what makes this fight so exciting. Pacquiao isn't fighting for glory. He already has that. He's fighting because that's what real fighters do. It's not logic. It's a need, a habit. That voice in your head that says, you've still got it. Maybe that voice is wrong. Maybe not. Either way, we'll all be watching. The experts will analyze, the trainers will hope, and fans will hold their breath. Some want inspiration, some want closure, others just...
For anybody in the welterweight division, and for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again.